And for Asia Live, I'm joined by Delhi correspondent Surabhi Tandon for an in-depth look at a scandalous practice. Poor young Muslim girls in India, mostly in Kerala, married to visiting Arab men for short periods of time, and this time with the consent of their parents as well as religious leaders. Now, Surabhi will be joining us in a few minutes, but in the meantime, here's a look at that report.
These women have become a symbol of a practice that once flourished in Kerala, Arab kalyanams or short-term weddings. This victim, who doesn't want to reveal her identity, claims that she was forcibly married to Jassim Abdul Karim, a UAE citizen. When he divorced her a month later, she decided to seek help from a lawyer for her rights.
The first time I saw him was in the orphanage. They presented all the girls to him one by one, and he chose me. After that, I was told that he would be my husband, and the wedding would have to take place within a week.
Married for less than a month, she was taken to different resorts by her new husband. She accuses him of abusing her sexually and physically.
And after that, without telling me, he left for the United Arab Emirates. And from there, he sent a letter of divorce, which wasn't even addressed to me. The orphanage received it and told me about it.
The hostel where she studied currently houses 35 underprivileged girls who have no means to educate themselves. After this case, the secretary and his assistants were suspended. They are accused of forcibly organizing a child marriage.
Look, this is her consent form. There was no one to make sure her wedding would take place, so that's why we organized everything.
Authorities claim that this case is an isolated one. But local reporters and activists like Zohra say that over 2,000 children born out of such marriages currently live around this region.
This child's father is an Arab. He hasn't seen him since he was born.
Indian state law provides no protection to women who marry under the Sharia or personal Muslim laws.
In Islamic law, women have no decision-making power in matters of marriage and divorce. There is no minimum age to get married, and a man can divorce as many times as he likes. The problem with these marriages is that once the Arab man leaves the country to return home, he usually divorces the woman. These women suffer from physical, sexual and mental abuse and face serious financial problems that can force them to become prostitutes. It's a social disaster.
Local news also reported on this wedding, as Jassim was born out of a similar union as well. His mother was married to an Emirati who separated from her husband after he married another woman. Born and brought up in the UAE, Jassim returned to India to find himself a suitable bride.
My son told me he didn't want to marry a girl from there. He needed an Indian who obeys, not like all the girls in the UAE.
Well, yeah, over there women work, go out all the time, do not listen to their husbands.
Jassim is now threatened with extradition and could face up to 15 years in prison. This would be a big victory for NGOs fighting to end this practice, a ritual that started in the Middle Ages when traders from the Middle East began to expand their business in India through the port of Calicut.
That was Asia Live. And now for a brief look at our headlines this hour. Growing anger in the Philippines as aid is still not reaching a large majority of survivors. The debris and devastation remain omnipresent close to a week after the typhoon. Several Mohamed Morsi supporters get 17 years behind bars for a violent student-led protest. Meanwhile, the former Egyptian president himself refuses to recognize the legality of the court that's trying him. And a far-right wing alliance to make the EU squirm. France's Marine Le Pen and the Netherlands' Geert Wilders join up on an anti-Brussels platform before the upcoming European Parliament elections. And that's it for me for now. We'll be joining Stuart in just a few minutes. He'll be speaking with the UNHCR in Manila on how to get aid to survivors.